to Daily Tech Headlines for Monday, December 9th, 2024. I'm Sarah Lane. TikTok is asking a U.S. court for an emergency injunction to prevent its upcoming ban in the country, citing potentially devastating effects on its operations. The company argued that the law, which is backed by extensive bipartisan action, would result in irreparable harm and impact millions of American users. The current law mandates that TikTok's sale or ban be in effect by January of 2025. TikTok is seeking time for the Supreme Court to review its case and argue that a temporary ban would lead to significant revenue loss and user attrition. Reddit announced on Monday it's testing a new conversational AI feature called Reddit Answers, designed to let users ask questions and receive curated summaries of relevant responses and threads across the platform. Reddit told TechCrunch in an email that the feature is powered by Reddit's own tech because it has its own AI models, but also integrates models from OpenAI and Google Cloud. Reddit Answers is rolling out to a limited number of users in the US and currently is only accessible in English. The company says it'll bring the feature to more countries in the future and add support for additional languages. At the annual meeting of the Radiological Society of North America, or RSNA, DeepHealth, an AI firm owned by radiology giant RadNet, presents findings that of 747,604 women who underwent mammography screening over a 12-month period, cancer detection rates were 40% higher for those enrolled in the program versus those who weren't. However, some of the women also paid to have U.S. Food and Drug Administration compliant AI software applied to their mammograms, serving as a second set of eyes to help radiologists see anything that might be problematic. The findings suggest that 22% of the overall cancer detection increase was in part because higher-risk patients were more likely to enroll in the program in the first place, which may be due to selection bias. But the remaining 21% may be due to the use of AI in driving recall rates for additional imaging. Xiaomi announced the U7 SUV, scheduled for launch in mid-2025. The SUV can be compared to Tesla's Model Y in size and shape, and follows Xiaomi's success with its SU7 electric sedan, which made more than 100,000 units produced in its first year. The U7 features a dual-motor system with a peak output of 508 kilowatts, a 253-kilometer top speed, and a lithium-ion battery from CATL. Pricing is expected to be around the equivalent of $34,500 in China. Last week, Romania's Constitutional Court annulled the first round of the country's 2024 presidential election. Documents presented by Romania's top security council described potential interference conducted through algorithm manipulation by one candidate's campaign on TikTok and more than 85,000 attempted cyber attacks on election websites and IT systems by an external state actor. On November 1st, one candidate had 1% of support, but came in first with 22.9% of the vote by the end of November. At that point, expected to win the final round of voting. The election is now starting over from scratch. Google announced that its latest Sycamore quantum chip has achieved quantum advantage in solving a specific computational challenge significantly faster than classical supercomputers. Big if true, and marks a step towards practical quantum applications in areas like AI and cryptography. Critics warn that some claims often face scrutiny and that practical, general-purpose quantum computing remains years away. Google is part of a global race in quantum research, competing with companies like IBM and a variety of startups all over the world. iFixit has added Xbox Series X and S parts to its Microsoft Repair Hub, which also sells parts for Surface devices. The hub also includes step-by-step repair guides. And finally, a new report from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman shows that Apple might be looking to make its Vision Pro mixed reality device more attractive to gamers and game developers. Instead of being pitched as more of a productivity and media consumption device thus far, due in part to relying on eye and hand-controlled gestures rather than incorporating a separate controller. Gurman reports that fewer than 500,000 units have been sold to date, and now Apple is reportedly talking to Sony about adding support for the PlayStation VR2's hand controllers, while also talking to developers about whether they'd support the controllers in their games. Controllers could also help certain software programs be more usable on the Vision Pro itself. For more more analysis of the tech news of the day, subscribe to dailytechnewsshow.com. You can find show notes and links to all these headlines there as well. I'm Sarah Lane. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.